Angefangen habe ich als Gitarrist 10 Jahre und Sänger, die ganzen 60er Jahre. Und ich habe aber Posaune studiert und immer Jazz gehört und improvisierte Musik. Und dann habe ich dann Anfang der 70er Jahre einfach das Instrument gewechselt und die Musik, weil dieses Rockmusik hatte keine Chance. Da hätte ich meine Texte nicht singen können und hätte mir die Haare abschneiden müssen, um da Karriere zu machen. Und das war mit der Posaune dann gar kein Thema mehr, also keine Frage. Ich konnte meine Musik machen. Anfang der 70er Jahre habe ich dann angefangen, improvisierte Musik zu spielen. Da hat mir eigentlich niemand reingeredet. Und in der Zeit wurde das auch ziemlich Mode in der DDR. Nicht nur in der DDR, das war international auch eine Mode. Und ja, das war eigentlich eine ganz schöne Zeit. Und es ist heute eigentlich immer noch die meiste Musik, ich bin in Berlin, die meiste Musik ist in Ostberlin. Die meisten Clubs sind in Friedrichshain, Prenzlauer Berg, Mitte, Stadtbezirk Mitte, alles Ostberlin. Ich denke, das ist eine internationale Mode. Improvisation kam auch mit der Klassik. Penderecki, Lutoslawski habe ich viel gehört in der DDR. Und da war viel Improvisation komponiert auch, also für Improvisierer komponiert.
Well, my beginnings, I suppose it's a lot to do with my father in a way. He, in the late 30s, in the early 30s, he lived in America and Canada. And when I was born in 1939, when I was a young kid, he'd brought all these recordings back from there. And so I heard Duke Ellington, Tex Beneke, Fats Waller, Nellie Lutcher, all these American artists. And that, in a way, got my interest in the music. But as a kid, you take it for granted, because it's in the house. So you don't think it's anything special in a way. It's what you hear. And I lived in a working class area of England in the north when it was industrial. And so there was no music around in the bars or anything, in the pubs and anything like that. So it was only what you had in the house or what you heard on the radio. So when I left school, I was 15 years old when I left school. I didn't have any examinations to my name or anything like that. So I just had this idea that I wanted to play music similar to the recordings that I'd heard. They inspired me. I didn't want to work in a factory and I didn't want to work down a mine. I had aspirations to do something. And it just happened that my parents bought me a saxophone, an old Busey saxophone. And then I started to try and play like, the musicians on the recordings I'd heard. And that's where I actually began. But because I was exposed to a lot of music at an early age, I think that I always looked for musicians who had a special voice. They had a different sound to their voice or a different way of playing a phrase. Like one of my first main influences was Ernie Henry. He was a lead alto player with Dizzy Gillespie. And he only made about 4 recordings before he died, but he had this turn of phrase that was his own. And that's what always appealed to me. And in the long run, I thought what these people were telling me was somehow in some way to find your own voice. Don't just copy what they do, because they didn't just copy what the other people did. You learn how the music works, and then you use it in the way that you gradually develop your own voice over the years. And that's where improvisation came in for me.